Hi everyone, this is gretl from the gretl development team, and in this video I want to show you a few new features that are present in the new gretl version 2021C, and that are going to be probably welcomed by a few people. The reason why I'm saying this is that we've received reports over time that people were not entirely happy with the way gretl behaves normally, in that it opens a lot of windows, of different windows. Now, we tried to address this problem in several ways, and in this video I'm going to show you a few solutions that we have now that are experimental, so they're not on by default, but it can be turned on quite easily, and you can try them out and see if you like them. The first thing has to do, okay, this is the traditional gretl interface where you have the main window. So for example, if you load a data set, this is what you see, and then you can open the console for doing things from the command line. Now, in the new version of gretl, you have the option of putting these two things together like this. If you go to the Tools, Preferences, General, Option, and you click on this tick box here, Main Window Includes Console, and you press OK, then you have to restart gretl to see what's changed. But if you do, you see that now gretl comes up with two panes side by side. On the left-hand pane, you have the old main window with all the series and everything, and on the right-hand pane, you have the console. And of course, this is something that is going to look a little bit more familiar to people who are used to other software like Stata or RStudio, and that is probably something that some people are going to like. And in order to get the most of it, you probably want to maximize your gretl window. And okay, so you've got the console on the right hand side and the old main window on the right hand side, and this gives me the opportunity to show you a few improvements that we've made to the auto-completion setup. Now, if you click here on the preferences icon for the console, you see that you've got several options for auto-completion. One is to have automatic auto-completion. What does that mean? Well, it means that as you type, gretl tries to figure out what you're about to say and gives you a few suggestions. So, for example, in this case, if you type OP, then gretl reckons that you're about to say open, so and provides you with an automatic suggestion. If you hit enter, you get the auto-completion. So, for example, let's just open this data set, the same data set that I had opened before. Now, auto-completion is relatively smart in that it gives you sensible suggestions for what you're about to say. So, for example, suppose that you want to compute the logs of the first two series, then if you start typing log, okay, you get a lot of things that begin with LO, and the one that we want is logs, which is the command that is used for turning series into logs. Okay, and you can select this by either clicking from with your mouse or just by pressing Alt 3. And at this point we want to turn into logs these two series here, and if we start typing YE, then at this point gretl realizes that what you want is probably a series, so it gives you the series that begin with it gives you the appropriate suggestions. I mean, it's very easy. It's more easily said than done than said. Okay, whatever. And so at this point, as you can see, you've got the two logarithms here. Now, some people may not like auto-suggestion because like myself, I don't really like to have windows popping up as I type. So you've got an alternative way to have this, which is by invoking tab, which is the tab key that you got on your keyboard, typically to the left of the Q key. Now, in this case, what happens is that if I type hello, nothing happens unless I hit the tab key. And in that case, the same choices that I had before appear. And so in practice, this setting has the effect of invoking autocompletion only when you hit tab. The third thing that I want to show you has to do again with the fact that many people were not very happy with the fact that in some cases gretl would produce a lot of plots that would clutter up their workspace. So we introduced a new concept that's called the plot collection. Now, for the moment, I'm going to turn it off to show you what gretl used to do prior to this version. And in order to do so, I'm going to type set plot collection off, like this. Now, this is something that has gretl behave like gretl used to in the past. So suppose that I want to plot these for series, and for doing this I'm going to use a loop. Loop for each I that goes from YER to ITR. Now the plotting command GNU plot $I time series with lines, and then end loop. So what happens now is that, and this is again, let me repeat, this is the old behavior. gretl would produce 4 separate windows with one for each plot, one for each series that you see here, and this could rapidly get quite annoying if you've got lots of these. So we introduced the idea of plot collection. Now you can enable the plot collection by, well, in more than one way. You can either set the plot collection on like this, or you can go to the Tools, Preferences, General tab and click this tick box here. Now with the plot collection on, what happens? Okay, let me run the same loop again. Here I'm using the up arrow key to go through the previously typed commands. Now here, what you can see, I've got the 4 plots, but they're not contained in separate windows, but they're all contained in one window that you can browse to the 4 plots by using these keys here. And of course, each plot is separately editable. So for example, if you want to change the color to this series, okay, and the other ones of course remain unchanged, so you can separately edit these plots. And if you want to detach one of the plots from the collection, of course you can, and the other are here, and all the usual controls that you have for plots remain in place. But the nice thing about this is that you avoid proliferation of different windows on your screen, which is something that some people might find undesirable. Now there is more about the set plot collection setting to be said, and if you want to know more, you're invited to read the help. Okay, if you just type set help set plot collection, okay, you have all the necessary info here. So you also got this auto setting that I haven't described to you yet, but for the sake of brevity. Okay, of course there are many more features in this new release of gretl, and if you want to have a look at them, all you have to do is go to the help menu about gretl and go to the news button here, and you see we have new commands, new functions, a lot of extra goodies. But what I wanted to show you today is these GUI improvements that I think many people will find quite nice, because we've heard complaints from a few people over time, and so we decided finally to get something done about it. This is all for now. I hope you liked these new features. I hope you liked this video, and so it's bye-bye from me, and I wish you a happy and productive use of gretl. Bye, everyone.